Monsters and Manicures, The Chronicles of Cassey, Teenage Monster Hunter. I freaking hate monsters. Like, they go around trying to act all scary and stuff, but honestly, they are just annoying to me. My name is Cassey, I'm 18, and I've been killing monsters since I could walk. My parents were monster hunters, and now I've taken over the family business. Like, it was cool at first, but now that I'm a senior in high school, it's kind of messing with my social life. They just keep getting in the way of my love life. Like last year, I met this hot guy named Kyle, captain of the football team. When he and I hooked up, it was like magic, and I could already see our future together. But then this damn vampire bit him, and I had to do my thing and stake his blood-sucking ass, which totally sucked. I mean, come on, life, give me a freaking break already. I'm a teenager, and I need to do girly things and live my life, not hunt down gross monsters all day long. Like, being a monster hunter and a high school senior is, like, totally the worst. I mean, there's me, Cassey, trying to live my best life, but
No.
these gross monsters just keep popping up and ruining everything. It's like, can't a girl get a break? Take last week, for instance. I was, like, totally ready to hit up this epic party with my friends, Brittany and Tiffany. They are, like, my social networking gurus, always posting these amazing makeup tutorials. But do they know about my nightly monster slaying hobby? As if they'd totally freak out. Anyway, there I was, in my killer outfit, when suddenly my monster alert goes off. Like, seriously? I text Britt and Tiff, making up some lame excuse about my mom being all strict and stuff. So not fetch. I ditch the party and head to this creepy old warehouse, where this icky vampire is lurking. And I'm like,
Ew.
get away from me. But it's all hiss and snarl. So, there I am, fighting this vamp, ruining my manicure, and thinking about how I'm totally missing out on all the hot goss and selfies at the party. After staking Mr. Creepy Vampire, I'm all, great, now I'm fashionably late and monster goo is, like, all over my shoes. So not cool. Back at school, Brittany and Tiffany are all, Cassey, you missed such an epic party, and I'm just nodding and smiling, but inside I'm like,
Yeah.
because I was too busy saving your butts from becoming vampire brunch. But it's not just parties I'm missing out on. There's also, like, the whole dating scene. Every guy I like ends up being some sort of supernatural freak. I mean, can't a girl find a normal, hot guy who isn't a werewolf or something? And then there's prom coming up. I am, like, so stressed. Between picking out the perfect dress and making sure the town isn't overrun by zombies, I am, like, totally swamped. And it doesn't get any easier. Like, last night, I had to deal with this totally gross swamp creature that was, like, messing up the local park. There I was, in my brand new white sneakers, and this thing just oozes slime all over them. I mean, hello? Those were limited edition. Then, there's this whole thing with the new guy at school, Jake. He's cute, plays guitar, and doesn't seem to turn into a monster under the full moon, which is a total plus. But trying to flirt in between monster alerts is, like, super complicated. Just when I think I'm getting somewhere with Jake, my phone buzzes with another monster sighting. Talk about bad timing. I'm like, oh, sorry, gotta run, family emergency. It's the worst excuse, but what else can I say? BRB, gotta go slay a monster? As if. So there I am, sneaking out of school, sprinting to the sketchy motel on the edge of town, because, like, apparently there's a succubus causing chaos. And I'm thinking, great, now I'm dealing with demon drama. This succubus is, like, the definition of extra, all seductive and stuff, totally making a scene. I bust into the motel room, the man is dead in bed, and there she is, the succubus, looking like she just walked off the set of a tacky music video. I mean, talk about trying too hard. She's got this whole sultry vibe going on, flirting with every guy in sight. It's like, hello, could you be any more obvious? I'm rolling my eyes so hard. I mean, seriously, could this get any more cliché? But then, she spots me and goes all hissy and demonic. It's on. I'm dodging her demonic attacks or whatever, thinking, wow, talk about desperate for attention. Finally, I whip out my enchanted dagger, family heirloom, super deadly to demons, and the succubus is like, oh, you wouldn't hurt little old me, would you? And I'm like,
yeah.
that's literally why I'm here. So, I do my thing, banishing her back to whatever hellhole she crawled out of. And just like that, it's over. I'm standing in this trashed motel room, thinking about how this is so not how I planned my Tuesday. My phone is still blowing up with texts from Jake, and I'm like, great, now I've got to explain why I ditched him. Again. So I text him some story about helping my aunt with a plumbing disaster. I mean, what even is my life? I don't even have an aunt who lives nearby. But Jake's all, no problem, hope everything's okay, and I'm mentally facepalming. As I'm leaving the motel, all I can think about is how I'm supposed to be a normal high school girl, not some demon-fighting warrior in a never-ending episode of a Supernatural. So, like, where was I? Oh.
Yeah.
About Jake, the new guitar-playing hottie at school. He's like, totally dreamy and doesn't sprout fangs or fur, which is a major win in my book. But, like, trying to have a normal convo with him is a nightmare when my phone keeps buzzing with monster alerts. I mean, just last Wednesday, I was about to, like, totally charm him with my killer smile in the cafeteria. But then, bam. My phone goes off, and I'm reading about a ghoul outbreak at the old cemetery. So not what I needed. I had to come up with some lame excuse about a sudden dentist appointment. As if anyone would believe that. Rushing to the cemetery, I'm all decked out in my monster hunting gear, which is so not a good look, BTW. I get there, and there are like, 5 ghouls clawing out of their graves. Totally gross and, like, super inconvenient. I whip out my dual silver blades, thank goodness I remembered to sharpen them, and get down to business. It's a messy fight, ghouls are all arms and gnarly teeth, and they move like super fast zombies. But I'm faster. I'm like a whirlwind, slashing and dicing. It's kinda like being in a super intense dance-off, except way more dangerous and way less glamorous. Finally, I take down the last ghoul, and it's
Bye.
monster party. I'm covered in ghoul goo, which is a nightmare to get out of your hair, BTW. Back at school the next day, I'm playing it cool, but inside I'm like, did Jake notice I was gone? Does he think I actually had a dentist appointment in the middle of the day? It's super stressful trying to be normal when your nighttime job involves staking vampires and banishing demons. Speaking of, let's talk about the demon I battled last Thursday. So, I get this tip about some weird energy at the abandoned warehouse. It's always the creepy places, right? I show up, and there's this demon, all red skin and horns, looking like it stepped right out of a horror movie. It's got this wicked-looking scythe and is, like, totally ready to slice me in two. The fight is insane. I'm dodging and weaving, trying not to get chopped into Cassey sushi. I remember this old spell my mom taught me. She was a total boss at magic stuff. I start reciting it, and the demon is getting all confused and dizzy. Magic can be so clutch sometimes. Just when it looks like I'm winning, the demon lands a hit, and I'm sent flying into a stack of crates. Ouch, much? But I'm not giving up. I grab this iron rod, thank goodness for random warehouse debris, and as I chant the last line of the spell, I thrust the rod right into the demon's heart. It screams, a sound that's like nails on a chalkboard, and then poof. It vanishes in a cloud of smoke. Demon, 0, Cassey, 1. So, on top of everything else, I'm also, like, the head cheerleader at school.
Yeah.
I know, a monster hunting cheerleader sounds like something out of a cheesy horror flick, but that's my life. Balancing cheer practice and monster slaying is no joke. I'm constantly flipping from high kicks and pom-poms to high stakes and silver daggers. It's a wild ride. Like, last Friday, we had this major cheer competition. I'm talking big deal, with scouts from colleges and all. And just when I'm about to lead the team in our killer routine, my phone buzzes. Monster alert, downtown. Seriously, universe? now. I had to think fast. I pull aside Coach Thompson and spin this story about a sudden family emergency. He's giving me this suspicious look, but what can I do? Monsters don't have a schedule, and neither does saving the world. Speaking of which, the only reason I can even juggle all this craziness is thanks to Principal Jenkins. He's, like, one of the few adults who knows about my double life. He lost a cousin to a werewolf attack years ago, so he totally gets it. Whenever I need to duck out for a monster emergency, he covers for me, saying I'm on some sort of special school project. It's pretty sweet to have an ally in the admin office. But back to the cheer fiasco. So, there I am, sprinting out of the gym, having to dash over to a monster alert as fast as possible. Thankfully, I've got my secret weapon, and I'm not just talking about my killer roundhouse kick. I'm talking about my ride, a sleek, top-of-the-line convertible that Daddy got me for my 17th birthday. It's not just a car, it's a statement. Everyone at school is, like, totally jelly over it. I mean, who wouldn't be? It's got all the bells and whistles, leather seats, the latest sound system, and enough horsepower to make a quick getaway from any supernatural creature. So, I rush to the parking lot. I slide into my convertible, trading my cheer uniform for my hunting gear right there in the driver's seat. It's cramped, sure, but I manage. Gotta keep up appearances, after all. I speed downtown, the engine purring like a beast. And let me tell you, arriving at a monster showdown in this car? It makes an impression. This goblin I'm about to face doesn't stand a chance. I find the goblin causing chaos in an alley, and it's the usual horror show, all teeth and claws. I'm trying to look fierce while also being super careful not to scratch my car. I mean, have you seen the paint job on this baby? It's worth more than the entire goblin horde and...
Yeah.
I might brag about my car a bit, but can you blame me? It's a sweet ride. But when it comes down to it, I know I'm making a difference. Monsters don't stand a chance, especially when I roll up in style. After a bit of a tussle, where I'm really wishing goblins cared more about personal hygiene, I finally subdue it with some enchanted ropes. Another monster bites the dust, and Cassey's still the queen bee. I race back to the school, but I've missed the big moment at the competition. Coach Thompson gives me the whole "we're a team" speech, but I just nod, knowing I had to save the day. It's a bittersweet victory. Sure, it's hard juggling cheerleading with monster hunting. I race back to the gym, but the competition's over. Our team did great, but I missed my big moment. Coach Thompson is all, "We needed you out there, Cassey." And I'm like, "Sorry, coach, family emergency," but I'm feeling totally gutted. It's tough, you know? On one hand, I love cheering and being part of the team. On the other hand, I've got this whole other life where I'm taking down creatures that could, like, totally destroy the town. So,
Yeah.
that's my life. By day, I'm trying to keep up with homework, dodge Brittany and Tiffany's non-stop gossip, and maybe, just maybe, get a date with Jake. By night, I'm dealing with ghouls, vampires, and demons. Oh, and let's not forget about trying to find the perfect dress for prom. Because, priorities, right? But as much as I complain, I know I'm doing something important. I mean, someone's gotta keep the town safe from things that go bump in the night. Even if it means my social life is a bit of a train wreck and my love life is practically non-existent. So, like, that's the life of Cassey, teenage monster hunter extraordinaire. It's wild, it's stressful, and it's totally ruining my manicure. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't have it any other way. Because, deep down, I know I'm making a difference. And hey, a girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do, right? The end.